Welcome to Chobe National Park, a gorgeous wildlife paradise located in the northern part of Botswana. Its lush wetlands are home to an abundant array of wildlife that is unlike almost anywhere else on Earth. The famous Chobe River runs straight through the park, which attracts tons of animals and birds, especially during the dry season. I traveled here from neighboring Zimbabwe in the hopes of getting another grand wildlife experience on my journey through southern Africa, which it certainly proved to be. I left Victoria Falls and headed towards Botswana, where I would cross the border and continue to Chobe National Park. We were told that the ride from Victoria Falls would only be an hour, so I just sat back and enjoyed the ride. Seen off in the distance by the bridge, this is the Kazangula border, and it is the only place in the world where 4 countries meet. The border is shared by Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Zambia.
Maybe less than a month. Yeah, less than a month.
Crossing from Zimbabwe into Botswana couldn't have been easier. It's a simple stamp out and stamp in. From the border, it's about another hour or so before reaching the park. Once we entered the park, the road turned to sand and we officially entered safari territory. It wasn't long before we made our first sighting, an impressive male kudu that was foraging around just meters from our vehicle. These are truly impressive animals, with the male of the species boasting a beautifully ornate set of horns. Continuing on, my driver spotted a lone bull elephant sleeping in the shade while standing up. Although elephants can sleep both laying down and standing, they often choose to sleep standing as it is believed that it saves them both energy and time when waking up, which we got to see firsthand. Although the areas around the Chobe River are quite lush and verdant, much of the park is extremely dry and dusty. If you plan to drive in the park, make sure you have a 4x4 and your sand driving skills are in order as well. By the time we found some lions, they were already taking their midday rest under the trees. When you see lions on safari, you are probably 90% likely to see them either sleeping or resting. The riverside was where most of the animals were hanging out. Chobe is well known for its immense population of water-going elephants. In fact, Chobe itself has over 50,000 elephants alone, which is believed to be the largest population for any park in the world. There were dozens of elephants, from big to small, all bathing in the river and cooling off from the intense sun. To protect their skin, elephants often coat themselves in a layer of mud. We stumbled upon a group of them that had just come from swimming in the river when one of them gave us a bit of a mock charge. I'm not gonna lie, my stomach hit the ground. The force of that growl simply cannot be captured by the microphone. Whoa. After breaking for lunch, we set off on a river safari. This was quite exciting as it allowed us to see the park from a completely different angle. We even got lucky to see a hippo foraging out of the water, which they normally do closer to evening time when the weather is much cooler. You rarely see a hippo walking around in the middle of the day. Before heading back, we watched a large herd of elephants cross the river right in front of our boat. Crossing seemed fairly effortless to them, but climbing up on the riverbank was definitely a challenge. As the late afternoon set in, we sadly had to end our day in Chobe National Park. I will definitely be making a return trip to both this park and to explore other areas in Botswana, as it is certainly one of the best places in the world to experience nature at its absolute finest.